But so you can see my lovely pink background. Yeah, that's everything going.
Yep, looking awesome.
Awesome. All right. Well, hey everybody. First of all, thanks to the Lachlan's for having me give a quick talk here. Those of you who don't know me, my name's David Shawe, and I'm a designer and I run a company called Invisible Building. I'm going to talk a bit about building MVPs and using no code, because I thought it would be, I love offending people, and I thought the best way to offend people at BelfastJS would be to talk about no code. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually create my designs live for you. So I'm going to bounce into Canva. Not only do I love hating on developers, but whenever I hate on designers, the best thing to hate on designers is talk about Canva, because Canva is essentially automating everything that designers do, and it's actually really cool. Like, I think it's a really cool piece of software that I've been using regularly. It's all done on the web, and it works really well. So my first slide will be this here. So it's a bit big. Let's make that a bit bigger. So hey everybody, my name is David Shawe, and I'm a designer. I'm a director. I'm a developer, and for about 8 years, I worked as a front-end web developer for sort of other agencies in Northern Ireland, doing lots of different stuff. Just basically, if someone wanted a design done, a graphic designer would hand me a piece of code or hand me print out a piece of paper, and I would code it. I'm sure a lot of you here maybe worked as front-end web developers before, so you know what the crack is. Outside of that, I also spent 3 years working as an email developer. Shout out to Dermot Hughes, who's in the audience, I think. He was my boss actually for a couple of years, where he was the lead developer at CRC. We're a wee bike shop in Mollusk. And one of the things that I learned as a developer at CRC was like how not to be a front-end web developer, because basically they brought us back about, I don't know, 10 years and made us do everything in tables and inline CSS. But what it did do was actually make me know that I loved CSS. So today's talk is actually going to be about how to build a Lightning MVP. And if I jump in and type in Lightning here, I haven't tested this yet, so it would help if I spelled it. There we go. How to build a lightning talk by David Shawe. So basically today I'm going to talk to you about how to build an MVP really fast. And that's something that I've done in the past for 24 hours. I only spent about 4 hours on it, I guess, but a 24-hour project. So something I wanted to do, I sort of found that there was a problem. I overheard a couple of people saying that they were having issues getting local freelancers. They didn't really know who was like available. So I thought something's really cool. Let's just start a product called Indie, where people can, say if they're available for work, and then local people can hire those people, and people can ultimately make money. So how do you do that, or how do I do that? So I start processing it, and how I process is through a program called Figma. It's a design tool. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of it. It's free. You can just bounce in and actually do it. This here side of Figma is actually called FigJam, where you can actually mind map stuff. So how do I create a really simple MVP? Really simple stuff. I start with what I need. I need someone's name. It's going to be single text. I need someone's skills. It's going to be multiple choices. I need their availability. It's a yes or no. And then I need contact. That's email. So these are all sort of things that are going to be listed in a database. I then think how I'm going to get that. So I'll probably use maybe a Google Sheet or a Google form. So I go through that process and continue to actually to see how I'm going to do this. And then I get to this bit where I'm like, oh, I've got to create a Google form or a Google Sheet. So I bounce in and create a Google Sheet. And then from there, I have no data. So I'm like, well, how am I going to actually make this app happen? Number one, I need to actually get data. Number two, I need to see if people actually want to use this, because I've overheard that people need the thing, but I don't know if I actually need users. So what I do is, first of all, I create the form. So it's really simple. It's done in no code in about 5 minutes. Oh, there's a perfect example of how no code is awesome, because we have a disturbance from Typeform. But luckily the Typeform is already made. And hopefully if I refresh this, it's going to show you how it's done. Wouldn't worry. So this is the Typeform. It's really simple. So it's what's your name, what's your skill set. You can do multiple choice, and then you hit OK. Then you say your availability. Are you available for work? Yes, you are. If you want your email address, you put in your email. And if anybody wants to actually join and say they're available to work, feel free to sign up right now. So that's what I did. I started sharing this type form about the place. So just as I done to use in the audience here, I just pasted it to people. So I went to the NI Creative Community, which is a new community for creatives in Northern Ireland. I shared it in there. Nobody really looked at it there, so it was pretty useless. I shared it on Facebook and in the NI Facebook group, and I got about 12 comments, people tagging stuff, which was great. And then I actually went on LinkedIn. I have a pretty decent network, and I went on and actually I just messaged people and I said, yo, what's the crack? You might be interested in giving a talk tonight in BelfastJS, just to promote the JavaScript club as well. And also I was like, I'm creating this list of designers and developers and sort of personalize it for different people. And just said, if you had 2 minutes, fill it out. So I got like 10 people, got 12 people, and actually got one while we were giving the talk, the talks were going out tonight, just to show that it's working. At 6:45 there came through, which was cool. And also just a bit of GDPR help for you. If you ever like show in live talks, you can use a font called a barcode. That means you can actually grey out people's email addresses and show that they actually got live data. So that was a cool tip. But from when I got to this stage where I was collecting data, so now I've got like 10 people, like in 24 hours, and that's pretty cool. It goes to me like, yeah, this is worth doing. It's a viable product, like, let's actually get this tested. I had an issue though. I was like, I've got all this information, but I don't have any people's faces. How do I make this look cool without like stealing their data and stuff like that? So I was like, right, let's do something cool. And I went to this website called readyplayer.me because the metaverse is really cool right now. And you can actually go in and sort of create people's photos. You can like make their sort of, you can make like an avatar of yourself. So I'm going to do one for Dylan, who just signed up there because he's the only person that I haven't actually got a photograph for yet. So I'll show you quickly what I did. So I did this for the other 10 people, and I just went in and I took like a couple of minutes. Some people took a bit more depending on how cool they were. I went in and I changed how they look. So again, this is a free tool. It's probably copyright and stuff like that, but for startups and MVPs, just go with it. Just launch it and see what happens. So Dylan is like his name is, hi, my name is Dylan on Instagram. You can follow him. He's a bit of an influencer, and he always wears a cap, so I know that I can probably just use. And let's see, where's a baseball cap? There we go. I don't know. Does that work? Dylan. So that we'll just say that's Dylan for now. So what I'll do is like screenshot that, and then to actually get this, I use a couple of other no-code tools this time. So I'll maybe get back Dylan in a second. I'll just let that sit there. So Dylan at the moment doesn't have a picture, and for what you don't really know what I'm talking about at the moment, so I'll just fast forward to what I got to. So basically, I got to the stage where I had all this data in, and I was like, how do I build this? What do I do? I'm talking on a JavaScript thing, so but I want to talk about no code. I don't want to offend people, so let's talk about React. So I found this tutorial on dev.to, which is a really cool blog. Again, I'm sure a lot of you know about it. And I was just like, this article was done in December, so I know like, yeah, it must be pretty good, or it's pretty recent anyway. I always have an issue sometimes where I look at blogs and stuff and it's outdated and then stuff doesn't work. And I'm like, because I'm not a React developer at all. But I went in and I sort of followed this tutorial. Seemed pretty okay. I sort of understood it, and it brought me onto this sort of product called No Code API, which is probably the most hipster and ironic thing you've ever heard because it's called No Code and has an API in it. And what I did was I was able to actually connect though. So what was cool to me was I was able to connect the Google Sheet that was collecting all this data from the type form. And then I was able to collect basically I was able to get an API. I was able to get some data out of it. So if I click on test, it'll actually show you how that works anyway. Use this API. That's not going to work. If I go to so there it shows you how like all the data appears. It just appears like in strings of data, so you can use that in the React app, which is pretty tidy. The React app also uses this UI framework called Shawe, which I never heard, but you kind folk might really enjoy knowing stuff like this. I didn't really know what it was, but it seems to make things really nice and simple. So what I did was I took that data, I built the app, and this is what we created. So we have like indie, hired independent creative working for hire in Northern Ireland. And basically, whenever someone submits the information through the type form, it'll go to the Google Sheet, and then obviously this is locally hosted. But the idea would be this would be hosted on Netlify or something, and we could automatically trigger a new update. And this is sort of our MVP. So it means that we can actually start sending this out now to potential people that want to hire people, and they can just get work straight away. So if they wanted to hire David Shawe, you could just click email and it would open up an email, which it has done in the other window, but you can't see it because it's in a browser. But that's like sort of the MVP. So from here, it's like we can actually do a lot from here. So like there's a lot. At the moment, it's just customer facing at one end, where we can have people submit their information and they're becoming someone on the network that can offer their services. The other side of things is where maybe we can do something. I've thought about, there's a product called Member Stack where you can actually have a login. It's a no-code application for having members do your website. So we could like password protect things and stuff like that. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on that, but I'm going to show you quickly how I did how did the avatars, because they're sort of no-code tools that I think are cool. And the tutorial itself was by this person called Fab Code and Zest. So if you can check them out on GitHub, if you would like, I'll post their GitHub here too. And so Dylan, get back to Dylan. So how did, at the moment, if I go to the app itself, which is in this tab. So at the moment you can see Dylan was added here, and we have all these cool people, but Dylan doesn't have a face. So just to show you that this is working, what I'm going to do is I used two things. You saw I created his face in this here product called readyplayer.me. A couple of cool, I'm going to call them no-code tools, but it's a background image remover. It's very cool. I just got a low battery sign as well, so that's never good. So I go into my desktop and I can pull that screenshot and just drop it in. And he has a black background, but now magically Dylan doesn't have a black background. So I can download that. And then I also use this free imagebb.com to upload stuff, to upload images. So I can upload that, and then I can just drag and drop that in and upload it. And then from here, I can copy the image address, and then I can just stick that in this one. And then if I actually go to my terminal, if I refresh the terminal, restart this, hopefully Dylan has a picture now. No, he doesn't. Maybe I need to do it to this one too. Sorry, I'm terrible at this stuff. So if I then go to boom, boom. It's not working. I'm not gonna worry about it. It should work, but the idea is like you can just upload images on the fly. Another sort of no-code product that I'm just going to show you, which is similar to remote background, is a website called Photopea. It's a really cool no-code tool. It's just Photoshop in a browser. It's free, so it's literally you can do whatever you want, and you can create a banner. You can say this is cool, similar to Canva. But it's just Photoshop. So like down with the corporates and up with the indie developers, and that's everything. The only other thing I wanted to say was that why I'm talking about MVPs and why I'm talking about startups is because I do a lot of work with an organization called Raise Ventures. They're a startup accelerator here in Belfast. If anybody wants a startup or just to do a product or want to like accelerate their thoughts and meet cool people, go chat to Raise, because they do really cool stuff, and they want to work with the developers, and they want to sort of help them take their products to the next level. So that's everything from me. Thank you so much for listening to me. Namaste. Have a great day.
Awesome. Thank you very much, David. I really like that approach, like kind of like building as you went and how you could use those no-code tools. So a couple of kind of questions, like I know you are a developer, maybe not anymore, you're doing all this no-code stuff. Like I've watched you write code before and build sites, and that's how I got on to use like the shop local site you built during lockdown. like how have you found the transition, like starting to use more no code? Do you miss the coding side of things, or do you miss like the hassle of writing code and getting the solution quicker?
To me, dude, it's all about trying to automate things that just find me hassle. So I'm always, I think I would never be like I'm always want to be a developer, and like I would strive to learn every day about more development, but like I'm definitely more of a CSS person. I love the web, so always want to be HTML. Never really jumped into the whole side of JavaScript, unfortunately. But that's where I see low code and no code as like a viable option for me, because it can like help me speed up my process on things that I don't really know what to do. So if I can speed up that side of things and then make a sort of a product out of it, that sort of wins.
Awesome, awesome. And kind of even like leaning into the raise ventures kind of side of things, like, do you see businesses like going towards the low code / no code area more than trying to build up like a dev team to create a project from scratch? Like I've been through the whole kind of thing before, where someone has a product but they don't have developers, but they want the product to be a reality. Like, is that becoming something going forward?
To be honest, it's a really controversial thing. Like a lot of people have different opinions on it. My own opinion is that it's all about just getting people to use something. So if I can build something, and even if it's front end looks beautiful, but the back end is like, if it's the front end, it looks like artificial intelligence. The back end is me like moving about stuff and actually making stuff happen. Some people say you're calling someone, but the other flip of the coin, if you're getting people onto the platform and actually getting users, that sort of validates your idea, that validates your product. And then you then get a little investment and then build a dev team, like that's my perspective on it.
This kind of actually leads into, there was a question just came through there. So do you see this as very much like a prototyping solution, or is this like an end production application solution?
Well, it's very much prototyping, like, but to me, again, everything's a prototype, constantly iteration, constantly improving. So that's my view on that. Like,
awesome, thank you very much.